I'll never be this person for you. Hello. Hello. What's that? What? Oh, I don't know. I didn't hear anything about 2 minutes.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dragonmark Symphony here on Natural One Media. My name is Dylan. I am here with my friends, continuing our Dungeons and Dragons campaign from last year, going into the new year of 2025.
Wow.
This is a campaign set in the world of Eberron, taking place currently on the continent of Corvair. And our group is just coming off of the end of a very intense encounter. They've all been staying at a former dragon inn in the city of Passage that was taken over by a new proprietor. They've been staying there for a bit, conducting some business throughout the city. They've already had some interesting adventures within the city itself. And where we left them off last, the inn was under attack by a sect of appeared to be rogue druids coming from the woods to the north. The team bravely fought against them, as well as the large plant-like creatures that they summoned, destroying large portions of the first floor of the inn. And as the conflict was resolved, the proprietor himself, Mr. Milo Marigold, revealed a strange nature about them, as well as a level of ferocity and violence that had not been shown before. They began interrogating one of the druids that had attacked the inn, looking for answers as to why the attack had occurred. And the team learned about a strange cult. There have been reports of a cult that is inhabiting the woods to the north of the city, that the city itself has done very little to interfere with or try to mitigate in any way. And the druids have chosen to take out their anger on the city itself in order to force them into action. As they were interrogating this druid, a somewhat familiar face appeared. A man by the name of Sander Toxley, who the group had previously ran into before in the city of Rote. Sander promised that he would do what he could to hold off the city's guardsmen that were going to be approaching in a matter of minutes, as long as the group did whatever it was they needed to do and got out as quickly as possible. There was conversation about the Eldine Reaches and the druids to the far north and to the west. Curiously, a druid by the name of Olean was brought up, as it is believed that there is some sort of plot by the cult members to summon something that will allow them to assassinate Olean and take over his position among the Wardens of the Wood, which inhabit the capital of the Eldine Reaches. There was mention of the King of Summer, and Silva made it clear that she felt it was appropriate for them to visit the King of Summer so that she could get further answers, only to be informed by Milo Marigold that this would be difficult because the King of Summer at this time is believed to be dead. And so that is where we return. All of you still in the tavern, Sander at the door. Milo looks upon all of you, very stern look on his face. The enormous hole that had been ripped through the ground by the large plant-like creature, still very much present. All the damage around you still present. As Milo looks to all of you and says, Silva, the King of Summer is believed to be dead. Actually, the stories say that he's been dead for close to a year now.
Stories. Sorry, who's reporting on? Sorry, is there
These
a?
are
Is there? I was gonna say,
these
is
are not
there?
informed reports. It's word from travelers. It's my own communications that I've had with some of the druids of the Reaches.
Oh, hey, that doesn't necessarily seem reliable, given the fact that it isn't like news from fey creatures is inherently to be trusted ever.
I recognize this, but when enough of these people from different parts of the Reaches parrot this word, I mean, eventually it begins to sound more genuine the more people say it. It'd be one thing for a single meager trickster to be passing this along, but I've heard this from several people, including some that I trust dearly.
I get that, but I more mean that in the sense of when you have if all of these people meet one gatekeeper who spouts the same lie, then the lie is still the same. A lie comes from one spigot, but many drink from the spigot.
Sander at the doorway, arms crossed. She speaks correctly, Milo. It is far too easy for that spigot, that point of information, to be poisoned, made incorrect. This is something that must be investigated further. We should not be quick to assume that it is true. There is clearly a lot of deception at play here.
More importantly, if it were to be true, then there are much larger issues at hand.
Such as?
Someone with the power to do such a thing. This isn't gods placating with each other. This isn't standard Fey Lords going after another. He exists here. Connected, but he is effectively a gatekeeper.
Milo looks to the druid that is currently bound and sitting on the floor, the one that you've been interrogating together. Young druid, are you aware of any sort of figurehead, a form of leadership that the cult is currently following? The druid sort of looks up to all of you, face still bloodied. And Silva, you of course able to understand. There's one, but there's no physical evidence of them, only whispers. They speak of Prakutu. We've heard it enough times that we think it may be the name of some sort of leader, a guide for them. But we've yet to see this figure in person.
So does that mean no one has seen him, or just you?
Translated. None of us have seen them. None of us.
Dylan, how do you spell that name again, by the way?
That is Prakutu. PrakhutU.
Almost got it. I missed the H.
Put too many G's in there.
Yes. I suppose we have a lead for what might be organizing these druid efforts, but it doesn't seem like... does this name mean anything to you, Milo? You have more of a ear to the ground in the city.
No, it's not familiar to me at all.
Know
Not
anyone
even
who
in the
might?
slightest.
Do you know anyone who might? Victoria?
It sounds to me like this might be more the matter of those moon speakers, if you can find them.
Hmm.
As I mentioned before, we should have this one here, the druid, lead you back to the moon speakers, or at least the ones he's affiliated with. It'd be very dangerous to go into the woods alone by yourself at this point.
I suppose we could. You think we could trust him, though?
No, which is why I would ask that you keep a very close eye on him and make it extremely clear what will happen to him if he decides to try to slip away or lure you into a trap of any kind.
Forward thinking like a boss
I
should
won't hesitate, bitch.
have.
Um, craft this threat correctly here.
At this moment, you hear footsteps. A couple city guardsmen approaching the inn. Walking up, they recognize Sander in the doorway, and they look to him, not even focusing their attention on any of you. One of them wipes his brow and looks around and says, "Oh, dear God. The state of this place. Has anyone been hurt?" "No. No casualties. We were very lucky. They were able to evacuate the residents of the inn before the meat of the attack could occur. What is the situation like in the rest of the wards?" "They're clear, sir. Everything's fine. We've got everything locked down." "Good. These three here, they are getting express permission to leave through the northern gate. They are under our orders. They will be handling reconnaissance." "Sir, reconnaissance? You mean to say that they're going to meet with the druids directly?" "That is exactly what they are going to do. And you will allow them to pass. Take one of the messaging stones. Get communication over to Siler. Let them know." Very well, sir." And he pulls from his pocket a small stone, begins speaking into it. "Well, I know I said it before, but I shall reiterate. We have a lot of work to do here as far as cleanup goes. I beseech you, please, take him, head to the north, into the woods, find out what you can, and please come back safe. Be careful."
Well, let's go ahead and get moving, and time is of the essence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The town's guard who is on the messaging stone comes back over. "Sander, the northern gates will be open for the three. They said they're currently dealing with some sort of miscreant, some out of towner, a glory hound, wants to be let out of the gates as well. They should be finished with him soon." "Very well, the sooner the better. Allow them passage through the gates. Time is of the essence."
They'll finish with them soon.
Milo takes the druid and he brings him up onto his feet. Remind me again how the druid was bound. If anybody here can recall.
Hands behind the back, I think.
Well, it was,
He was basically hogtied.
Well, it was
Hogtied, okay.
no. Well, it was so like there was the thing that I was tied with, the like
Yes.
because I think we cut it though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you basically had to, yeah.
Yeah, we just so in that scenario, then it would have been then in that case, yeah, it was because I know we used it. It was just I couldn't remember if we like had found the button or we broke it. But we just tied him with the rope part that was like remaining in it. So he was inevitably tied up with that thing.
You'll see Milo, one of his hands sort of comes out further from the robes. And from the tips of the fingers extend razor sharp claws that you haven't seen before. And he just
Always something with this guy.
Always something.
cuts the rope. The druid pulls the hands out, rubs the wrists, and you see he turns and a flicker of fear across the face when he sees the clawed hand. I know you druids have seen many things. There are many dangers that propagate your wood. But I also know you are not fools, and that you are smart enough to be more scared of me than anything in that wood. You will lead them through the Duskwood safely to your people. Help them get all the information they need. The removal of this cult benefits us all. Understood. The druid nods. I will. Milo gives him a pat on the back with the clawed hand. Yes, good. Off you go then. And the rest of you, be safe. Come back soon.
Thanks. He's a lot more threatening than I thought he was.
Does it make you want to actually do your job?
A little bit.
I'll make sure that Thomas and I get some food prepared for you when you get back, all right?
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm thinking pancakes. Thomas is very good at making pancakes.
They are quite good.
He might even be better than the head chef. He's just that good at making pancakes.
Don't start him. Don't that'll start him. We need to go. Don't you think about it, Johannes.
Okay. I'm moving on.
Dylan, it's still like the same day or the next day from when...
It's still the same day, but it is now very late in the evening. The sun is almost completely gone.
From when I ordered my modified...
Oh gosh, the crossbow, yes. Yeah. Ooh, that was, I want to say yesterday?
Yeah, I think it was the previous day. He said 2 to 3 days for it to be ready.
2 to 3 days.
Okay, I was kind of
hoping he would have it delivered to the inn.
Yeah.
But it has not arrived yet.
No, we
Milo.
unfortunately didn't get a couple things. Like we haven't been able to really look for the vampire either. So no, don't worry, you're not the only one who's gonna be a little lit out, but we'll be back. We got
a couple threads going on right now.
Yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back.
Yeah. Hey, Milo. I am expecting a delivery of a customized crossbow to be delivered here.
That sounds useful.
Yeah, it would have been incredibly useful to have before we left. But he said it would take 2 to 3 days, so I anticipated either tomorrow or the day after.
Yeah, that was like that was a bit extra.
If you could just keep it safe for me until we return, that would be great.
Oh, absolutely. If it's to be delivered here, I shall make sure that the parcel remains completely intact.
Appreciate it. All right, y'all, let's get going.
Okay, let's follow this guy. Go on. Talk to him like he's a dog.
The druid kind of
Yeah.
gives you a bit of a scathing look, but he does move forward past Sander and the guardsman there. When he passes the guardsman, you see they look at him with disgust. Just absolute, like, brows furrowed. One of them reaching for their side weapon a bit, as he just kind of passes through out the doors.
Like a cop would.
Yeah, real cop behavior. All right, and you all walk out into the main roads. The roads themselves have largely been cleared. As you're familiar with, obviously there has been a curfew that has been in place in the city for a little while now. But now here on the verge of attack, you can see that there are nearly every person that you do see out here is a guardsman. There's some guardsmen or some member of like private security for a lord or a baron that are all out and about communicating with each other, moving across. You see spells being cast, protection spells, detection spells, tracing certain things. People are being escorted, moved about. Everyone has a very like worrisome, scared look on their face. As you are just moving swiftly, you have to kind of loop. If we kind of take a look at our map of passage here, Scooby-Doo-Doo-Doo, boop, boop, boop. Here on Roll20, you can kind of see from where we are at the tavern.
We just swim across, and it's...
if you really wanted to, you could try to convince the druid to let you swim across. But otherwise, you'll probably... you'll have to kind of loop around through the city to get up to the northern gates. So it will be a bit of a journey.
The bridges to the airship station are going to be closed.
Correct. Yep, they're going to have that on full lockdown.
As we're walking, we would go past like one of the was it like a salamander station? You can see
yes, but they are so the salamander that you saw before, as well as their handler, you see they are not there. Station is still there, but they are no longer occupying it.
Gotcha.
And you're going to notice that as you travel, a lot of the stores, a lot of the inns, a lot of places, everybody with this curfew, everybody has kind of closed up for the evening. Not seeing a lot of open doors at the moment. You do pass by the large clock tower in the square. It is still being monitored. There are people there still working. But you no longer have the like large, expansive crowd that's usually sort of gathered around in that town square. It's largely been emptied out. Anybody that you do see is usually guardsmen. Many of them communicating to each other on stones.
As we pass through that area, I will just kind of make a quick detour over to the board and check on the posting that I had put up.
Yes. Do you want to remind the class what the posting was that you had placed?
I had put up basically a missing persons poster looking for information on Dak and where they had gone, if anybody had seen them. And then I had also included some thieves' cant on there.
Mm-hmm. The poster is still intact. It looks like a corner of it has been ripped away, but most of the actual wording on the poster, including the thieves' cant, is still there.
Okay.
There are other posts that have now been like attached to the board that are almost like impeaching on its space, kind of up in and around it. You see there's a posting for a missing dog. There is a new posting there, very fresh, that is calling for somebody to exhume a farmhouse out in the hills. that is believed to be vacated. There is a bounty for a dragonborn by the name of Jeremiah Stin. It's a bounty of 2,000 gold Galifars, captured dead or alive. And there is also a posting for a local poetry reading at one of the nearby inns. But the rest of the postings there are the ones that were already there from days ago when you put yours on.
Yeah, for the bounty, is that one? Does it have like little information sheets that you could take off of it, or otherwise I'll like jot something down?
Yeah, they have like a tablature set up on it so that you can take one of the tabs, and it just has the name, a short description of their physical appearance and where they were last seen.
Cool. I'll just grab that just to keep an eye out.
All right. You pass through the square, begin making your way up into the central ward. Again, much the same as before. A lot of the shops are all closed up. You don't see signs of anyone. No sign of the blacksmith that you had encountered or anything of that sort. You do, Silva and Johannes, you do end up sort of passing by the area where you were investigating for said vampire. And unsurprisingly, the area is basically deserted at this point. As you continue onward. Eventually, you find yourself in the northern part of town. Now, you haven't been in the northern part of Passage really all that much. There is a large dwarven enclave in this area of the town. The eastern half of the area is a large dwarven enclave. It's been there for close to 60, 70 years at this point, and it's just kind of slowly been expanding. To the western side, however, is an area that is largely considered to be more of like a place of squalor. This is Nerith Town. Nerith Town is a bit of a slum. It's a lot of lower class families, fishermen, smaller tier merchants that are living in this area. It is one of the areas also that tends to have a little bit more crime, though the Town's Guard have really tried to crack down on that in the past few years. It's also the primary access point for the Chessering docks, which alongside the Augir docks are the primary docking points for a lot of the merchant ships that come in on Lake Galifar for the means of trade and transfer. It doesn't take too much longer before you do find yourself approaching the northern gates. These gates are enormous, huge double gates, solid wood and steel. Not wood and steel, wood and steel, mind you.
Wooden steel.
It'd be very impressive if they invented wood and steel. Very impressive.
That's
as you're approaching,
that's a lot like Warforged are. Wooden steel.
Yeah, definitely. As you're approaching, you see that there is a good 10 to 12 guards that are kind of spaced out at various points, and there's a ton of guards watching up overhead, armed with crossbows, watching both on the northern side as well as the southern side from which you're approaching. You see at the gate that there is a couple of guards that appear to be conversing with someone who is standing there. Looks to be somewhat of a humanish figure, and they are in conversation with each other. Jade,
hello,
former member of the show during the first arc of our campaign. Would you like to describe what your character looks like for us?
Sure, can. So he is a tall, muscular, dark-skinned man, hair long in braids. You can pretty much just look at me and imagine that. Less hair here, more hair here. Heterochromia, longtime fans of the show will know that's a hallmark of a Jade character. Left eye
Every
blue,
time.
right eye green, as per usual. But muscular, dressed in chainmail armor, shield in one hand, short sword in the other.
All right. Jade.
Short sword now.
Jade, you are deep in conversation with this guard who is basically at this point they are refusing to open up the gates. There's clearly some sort of like a curfew or a lockdown that has been put into place in the city. A lot of these guards have been like in conversation with each other. They're turning people away. They're not letting them leave the city through the northern gates whatsoever. And you've kind of been in conversation with this one guard trying to get through. As they just continue to explain to you, no, I've told you before, I'm under strict orders. We cannot allow you to leave through the northern gates. If you absolutely must leave the city, you can do so through the southern gates, but you will need to go through the organized checkpoint to make it happen.
Can I not simply just go? I can handle myself. It's not a problem.
I understand that you feel that way, but this is a matter of public safety. We're not picking and choosing who it is that we let through. Well, in a matter of sense we are, but listen, whatever your business may be, we are trying to ensure that as few citizens of the city are anywhere close to the Duskwood as possible. Simple as that.
It's a very wise policy. You are a great man for doing your job. I'm not a citizen of the city. That means I can go.
If you're not a citizen of the city, then where are you from then?
How'd you get in?
That is a great question, and you are a wise man for asking that.
Do you not know where you're from?
You are a wise person. You ask many good questions for a guard.
Make a deception check?
Question mark.
Question mark?
Behold, a 21.
There you go. Look, I suppose all things considered, I don't need to know exactly where you're from. I just need to keep you inside the city grounds. Look, you mentioned something earlier about a bounty, right? You are more than welcome to resume your work on your bounties after the curfew has been lifted tomorrow morning.
I'll be gone by then. All right. I see that you are strong in both body and mind. So I can't go through the doors.
No, that's what I keep telling you. Look,
Very
listen.
well. I
Listen.
shall return when I can go through the doors. Later. Yes.
Yes. Listen, you see those people over there? And he kind of points. So you see off in the distance, there's like this small group that's kind of approaching the gates. Those weirdos over there, we received word that they're allowed to pass through. Do you know who they are?
We go
Not
into
a clue.
focus. Oh shit!
They are under direct orders from one of the most powerful enclaves in the city. All right? What the house says goes. And the house says that those three can pass through to the north. If you want to go through, if you have to go through, the only way that's going to happen is if you're considered part of that group.
Fantastic. Wait here one moment.
I'll go
All
right.
approach that group.
That wasn't
I don't know what I
a suggestion,
expected.
that was a warning.
He doesn't need to know that.
He just kind of hangs his head, sighs as you walk away from him.
Preteens weirdos.
Greetings. Is that how you
okay.
introduced yourself to
Question.
everybody?
Well, here, question as he approaches. well can we see out here?
So it's like I say, the sun is pretty much setting. It's just about dusk here. You can still like the light of the moon is such that you can still kind of make like you can't see the finer details of him, but as he approaches you, you can see this is a tall man, very stocky, very well built, hair in the braids. He approaches you. It's something of like a very like confident stride coming towards you. He doesn't appear to be like immediately threatening in his posture. But he does very quickly. He's closing in the gap on you as he approaches.
Did we hear any of the conversation
or is this
they were
guy just
having?
like coming barreling?
No, you would have been too far away at that point.
Okay.
Well, I feel a little bit like a pretty recognizable guy.
Thank you. I think so.
I would think so as well.
Yes.
Okay, so while I do admit our group is weirdos, I still don't appreciate being called that. Who are you and why do you approach us that way?
Well, how close has he gotten now?
Sorry. My apologies. The gentleman at the door has addressed you as such. I assume that was the name given to your group.
Well, we don't actually. Have
yes.
any.
My name is Chris Sada, world-renowned bounty hunter and athlete. I have been informed that your group has been given passage through the doors, and I require such, how you say it, access as well.
Well, Chris, why should we let you come with us to get through the doors?
And it's a great question, and it's because I need to go through the doors.
I'm shockingly simple answer. What? I look over. What is this guy's deal? Should we let him through? I mean, I don't really care. He can get through if he wants.
You know what?
I hate the guards.
If it gets us to continue on quicker, by all means.
You know what? Yes, Chris, you can come. Mostly just because I hate the guards.
Fantastic!
Here.
You weirdos are wise people.
Please
Also,
stop calling
please-
us
Okay.
that.
Like
My name is Silva.
I don't deny it, but like you could stop calling us that.
Apologies. What shall I call you?
My name is Silva.
Silva the Winged One.
I'm Johannes.
I'm set, and I'll gesture to the druid. This one doesn't matter.
He's not part of us.
Yeah, tough.
Yeah, fuck you too. And I'll just like push him
Zoom
and
tight.
start getting him moving again.
May I ask why you have a pet on a leash?
He
We-
is leading us to a place.
He's an escort, yes.
He knows where we're going. We do not.
He's a prisoner.
Speaking of, where are you going?
I'm hunting bounties.
What bounty is that?
That is a great question.
Oh my god.
Are
I've
you
had
not
enough
on
of this
contract
guy.
at the moment?
You don't know. Is it the same bounty? I think it is, right?
It is. I'm trying to.
You told me.
I'm trying to make sure that I had whether or not I got the specific information over to you. I'm hoping I did not somehow. Yes. Okay. So you had received a bounty request, generous compensation for uncovering information or bringing in any members of the Cult of the Emerald Claw.
Oh, okay. Yes, I did.
And your understanding is that the activity of the Cult of the Emerald Claw was last reported to be happening in the Duskwood, which is the immediate north of the city.
Let me write these things down. Fantastic. Okay. Bounty I seek is information. I need to know of the Cult of the Emerald Claw, last seen in the Duskwood, which is through those doors.
Oh dear.
Ah, well,
Okay.
I see we may be traveling together.
Well, that
Really?
is,
say,
yes.
I feel that we could that we very likely then could utilize be of benefit to each other.
Strength in numbers.
Well, this is wonderful news. You have information on the Cult of the Emerald Claw?
It's what he's for.
Yes, we're going to.
He belongs to it.
Now.
No,
He's part of the
Oh.
druids that have been creating issues because those druids are trying to deal with the Emerald Claw, but taking their frustrations out on the city.
See. Then you have done great service in apprehending this individual.
Sure. Yeah, we really do need to get a move on. So if you are also going in the same direction as us, it sounds like you're more than welcome to join us temporarily, but
Feel free to
we
tag along.
do really need to get a move on.
Yes, we go forward now. I will talk to the guard.
Let us.
We'll handle that. Don't worry.
If you insist.
Just kind of leading the druid forward and continuing up to the gate.
All right, as you approach the gate, a few of the guard there walk towards you. The one that was speaking with Chris originally recognizes you as you approach. Yes, hello, you three. We were warned that you would be needing passage through the northern gate by order of the Enclave. Is this one giving you any trouble?
No, we've decided to take him on as a hired hand for assistance.
No, how generous of you.
So he'll be joining us.
Very well then. Pulls out the stone, speaks into it. You see that the doors of the gate slowly begin to open and are pulled aside. They're only a span of about like 6 feet or so, just large enough for you to be able to walk through. Good luck to all of you. Watch yourselves out there, and if you do get killed, at least try to do so in a manner where we can easily find your body and give you a proper burial.
We'll try our best. You guys stay safe here as well.
All right, close the gates.
Just get through quickly to the other side and continue on.
You're doing a great job. But keep the riffraff out. Blame protect.
Guard just narrows his eyes at you as you go through.
Squint, hard squint.
The gates, the large gates, close in behind you, and you now find yourself on the northern side of the outskirts of the city. As we move back to our continent map.
Ooh.
I feel like it's been so long since we've seen this.
Mm-hmm.
Been in the city,
I
bro.
don't know. It's hard to say. We had to look at this continent map for quite some time.
True.
Also true.
I can see my house from here.
I would hope so, unless you live on another continent entirely.
You guys have a house?
No one ever does that.
Yes. So you are now on the outskirts of Passage. Everyone here is going to be walking, I assume.
Yeah, we have no other way. We did not bring Gary.
It's true.
They're no longer in the city, so
Yeah.
All right. Would you like to establish any sort of marching order? It won't take you long. It's going to be like a matter of like an hour or so walk to get to the edge of the Duskwood. But if you'd like to establish any sort of marching order before you arrive, you can do so.
I'll be following directly behind the druid leading us.
Okay.
So out in front.
I was gonna say yeah, it's like we want to be careful with how in front of us he is, from the sense of
He just doesn't run.
Oh, I'm directly, like, basically on top of him with a weapon drawn on him.
yeah.
I
Well,
can take a
it's just
post to
also
the
like
left or right of
the
him.
last thing we need is somebody that is entirely unrelated to our like everything that we're doing, and then to show up and like attack us like like some type of bandit or something like that, and then they fucking shoot him in the head. That's more what I'm referring to.
I'll stay close to the druid as well, left or right of him. We'll say he's right.
All right.
Well,
Is Chris short for Christopher, Christoph, Chrissy,
It's not. It is just Chris.
Joe?
Is that with a K or a C?
It's Steve.
C.
I figured that answer out.
Chris Sader, I believe Sader.
Correct.
Okay.
More lazier names, but I still like it.
Group, if you want to do a perception check real quick. Everybody except Chris on this.
Oh, never mind.
Perception.
Sure.
Yep, general perception check.
What the hell? That's a
Already
10.
press the button. Ignore that.
Hold on.
It's fine.
Sign in.
Thing.
Oh,
Okay, dokie.
yeah. Give me a second.
Are you on? No, I'm dumb.
Okay.
I literally pulled the fucking vine. I pulled the fucking vine. 19.
Somebody has to. Somebody's got it every once in a while.
Oh my
It's
god.
okay.
19.
That's pretty good. All right.
It wasn't the exact math that was wrong in the vine, but essentially.
What did you say you got?
You know?
I said I need to sign in to D&D Beyond because it didn't have me signed in, so I wasn't able to roll.
Oh.
Oh, I see.
Thanks, D&D Beyond.
Wow.
It's a 15.
All of you notice that as Chris, goes to take his place alongside the druid, he is indeed very muscular, very toned. He is wearing armor on his person. Silva, you pick up on the many calluses of his hands. Very strong, muscular forearms, very calloused hands that suggest that he has either worked or fought with his hands many a time. Chris, question for you. The weapons that are currently in your possession, do they appear brand new or do they look like they've been very heavily used already?
Shield will have dents. I have a great axe on my person, so that'd be on my back. One of the heads is weathered more than the other one. The short sword is new.
Okay. All right. Silva and Johannes, where did we have you in that lineup?
I don't know.
I mean, I think we'll want the new guy kind of near the front. He's got a shield and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's up front with me.
In a realm of duress, that would be defensively useful to have forward. I'll probably hold the back line, make sure nothing, anything sneaks up behind us. I can, blizzard tank my way through.
Throw the book at it.
So then at that point, I guess Johannes can just in front of me.
So we'll just kind of have Johannes in the middle here.
Yeah, kind of final place to go.
Okay. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna kind of simulate this hour of travel. I'm gonna have each of you roll a d6 for me, if you would be so kind.
Oh, you can do that.
Don't worry about telling me the number unless you roll a 1.
Okay.
But do let me know once everybody has rolled.
I have rolled.
I have done.
Excellent. All right.
Ooh.
You start your journey off without issue. Everyone moving forward. The edge of the Duskwood approaching you. Some of you kind of feel the similar feelings that you had when you were first heading into the King's Forest back in the city of Rote all that time ago. The large towering trees up overhead, the unnatural darkness that seems to emanate from the woods, as even the moonlight is largely shut out. As you begin to make your way in, the druid stops everyone for a moment and says to you, Silva, kind of calling back over everyone else's heads, we will need to stay close to each other. If anyone has light, a torch, fire, something, it would be best to light our way.
I have a torch.
I'll cast light on
Well, fine. To fancy magic stuff.
There doesn't have to be just one light source. You can have, multiple light sources.
What I will do.
Especially if something happens that causes you all to get split up from each other.
So he's not bound, right? We didn't bind him for.
He is not bound. Yeah, so he is currently unbound at this time. He does not have any restraints on him.
Yeah. Okay. So does he have anything like? Yeah. Does he have anything like metal, like a necklace out, or anything like that?
Not really. Almost everything that is on his person appears to be either it is either cloth or something made from plant life, or like a lot of it appears to have been handmade, hand constructed.
Yeah, I guess I misspoke on that. That because it doesn't have to be metal. More, does he have like a piece of armor? Is he kind of walking around with like a weapon, or have like his own like wooden shield or something, or a staff?
He has daggers on his person currently. Daggers at his hip. And from the results of he has like a single, he's got like a leather half breastplate kind of coming down over the shoulder.
Gotcha.
But other than that, he's not like especially armored now.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just go on. So yeah, I'll go on to the kind of the breastplate part and just kind of like tap that so that light emits from the front of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
He'll be our Iron Man. All All right, I have to be right back.
I also have a lantern that I can have lit.
Right. Yes. You also have a candle too that you could probably light if you need to see in the darkness.
No, that's all right.
No, might be helpful.
I do have a normal candle, that I could have lit.
I don't know if that's what I was talking about. I don't know.
No, I'm well aware of what you were talking about. I'm saying I also have a normal candle in my pack.
Yeah, but normal candles, is that going to do the job? No, it's okay. You have a lantern. Yep.
I have a hooded lantern.
Yes.
So I will light that, and I will. I'll hand that over to Chris to hold on to, as I'll be posting up directly behind the one whose chest is now glowing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can also see in the dark. So.
The holy lights will guide our path.
Set is also. You said that we got the same vibe that we got from walking into the King's Forest. Set is intensely looking around at the trees, keeping an eye out for webs.
You make another perception check for me.
It's a 6.
Okay. It is already dark enough. You're kind of trying to take a look around with the light that's being created as everybody kind of sets up their light sources. The trees are tall. You do not see any webs as of yet going through. Nothing appears. I mean, there's not even really much signs of wildlife at this point, but no real signs of webs. Above game for you, I don't have any giant spiders planned for this forest. I'm telling you right now. I'm giving you that as a freebie. I'm telling you right now. You don't have to worry about that, at least.
Perfect. Yeah, I figured as much, but also like it for in character Set, he would be like, as soon as the vibe is that way in a forest, he's just like, I'm not dealing with this shit.
Yep. All right. As we begin to move further into the forest, the druid walks straight ahead. The light emitting off of the breastplate, it's almost like fog lights of a car, just casting this like wide ray kind of lower to the ground. You can see the underbrush below you. You walk carefully to try to avoid tripping over any of the like these enormous roots from these trees that have kind of burst up from the ground. The gnarled roots with leaves and everything. Walking further and further into the forest as you go, you feel the temperature around you dropping steadily. And it doesn't take long before you can begin to see your own breath as it condensates a bit. Deeper into the forest you walk, and eventually you get far enough that you can't quite see the lights of the city behind you anymore. At this point, if I could have all of you roll another d6 for me. And again, same thing. Let me know once you've rolled, and let me know if you roll a 1.
I have rolled.
I have rolled.
I have rolled.
Okay. I'm going to roll for the druid. That is a 4. Further into the woods you go. You can hear the sounds of rustling, the wind beginning to pick up a little bit. the trees slowly starting to sway up above. As you creep further into the wood, the druid whispers to you, Chris. Jeg Tom, jeg rådde ikke sånn som det.
Okay.
Continue walking further into the woods. I would like Johannes,
Ooh.
as you're near the back. Could you please make let me see your passive perception here.
It's pretty good.
It is pretty good.
It's 18.
Yes. Yes,
Jesus.
you would actually not need that check. I think you would pick up on this. You do hear a behind you. Very brief. For just a moment. The sound of like scurrying, somebody scurrying along the ground behind you.
I whip around with my torch and like look behind me. Do I see anything?
You are quick enough that you just catch what appears to be the hind end of a small furry creature disappear into the brush off to the right.
Everyone, I think the druids may be on us. Well, I guess it could just be a forest animal, but I know what we're dealing with. Be on your guard.
If it were druids, we would know.
Just be either way. Be careful.
Johannes, you look at a tree nearby the brush where you had seen the animal disappear.
Yeah.
And you catch it running up the tree. Probably a squirrel or something. But with your passive perception, the tail is long and wiry, not bushy like a squirrel's tail would be. More like a rat's tail. As you continue on further into the woods.
Okay.
Not rats again.
Not again, man.
You reach a brook, the water sort of bubbling along, and the druid directs everyone to follow, going in the direction of the source of the brook, where the water is coming from. So the group as a whole kind of takes a right, begins to move in the direction of that brook. You walk for several minutes, several uneventful minutes. Nothing seems to be happening, but that tension never releases and the cold continues to sort of slowly seep in. It seems to kind of get colder and colder as you get deeper and deeper into the woods here. It is fully dark. You are almost entirely reliant on the light of your lamps and your magically conjured glow to guide you as you go. You begin to hear sounds above of wild animals chirping, the flapping of bats' wings up overhead. And after about several minutes of following the brook, the druid stops everyone. He points to something up ahead. What is that? You see ahead of you there is a large tree, and at the base of the tree there appears to be some sort of shape crumpled on the ground.
I've returned.
What
Welcome
kind
back.
of shape?
You may investigate it if you'd like.
I would love to.
Yeah, I'll
Walk up
move
to it
forward
slowly
with
with the
torch.
druid.
All right, anyone who would like to may make an investigation check.
I will go.
Sure. I've only returned, but sure, why not?
I have a 17.
Right here.
I got a 61 on
my
the
God.
D100.
Investigation, you said?
Yes.
By the
A
way, I
4.
got a 17 right here as well.
Excellent.
4.
Wait. Like a normal 17 or a.
What do you mean?
You're not on the nat 1 chart, right? Just like a
Correct.
actual 17.
Both me and
Okay.
Chris have 17s
Yeah. Okay.
for our investigation rolls.
I got 4 on my investigation roll.
Seth, what was your nat 1 roll again?
61.
61. That's right.
Nice.
Johannes,
Hey.
how is it that I had a higher investigation total when I rolled a nat 1?
Because I have
You doesn't
plus
have to-
0
I would say,
investigation
because
and
you didn't
rolled a
have to-
4
You didn't have to have a bonus into who
into
needs
investigation.
an intelligence
Yeah, nah.
modifier.
Who needs that, dude?
You know what? That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we're gonna be best friends.
Is smart is not needed.
Yes.
That will be 1 sec.
Okay. You all approach the thing crumpled at the ground at the base of the tree, and you can see right away that it is humanoid. Getting closer appears to be unmoving. You see the traditional garb of one of the city's guardsmen, but the figure is slumped over, their face obscured. Deep crimson spots on their person. A weapon drawn, but lazily laying to the ground at their side.
We tell that he's completely gone.
You'll have to check.
I would like to check.
All right, you're going to make another investigation check, specifically on this cadaver here.
Alrighty. That is a 17.
Okay. How are you checking?
Let's see.
Right,
So,
there.
his wounds, visible wounds, to see if blood is like fresh, breathing, pulse, things of that nature. Just
Sure. We start with the
signs
wounds.
of being still alive.
Yes, we start with the wounds. The wounds are not fresh; they are old. The blood has since dried. Though the blood on their armor, when you touch it, a little bit of it does still come off in your gloves, in your hands rather. But the actual wounds themselves are no longer profusely bleeding. Serration wounds, cuts. You check for a pulse at the base of the chin. Nothing there. No heartbeat. The eyes are glazed over. They have already got this kind of like milky complexion to them, lacking in blood. The face pale. They appear to be dead.
The fiends have gotten this one. I was too late.
Did you know him?
Serration wounds implies weapons, possibly swords. Be aware.
Interesting. Well, lead on, I suppose. If there's nothing, if it's just a dead body, I'm sorry, I missed that going to the bathroom. But
I mean, yes.
It's not just a dead body. He had a name.
he had a name.
Do you know the name?
And the name
I
is.
don't, but it doesn't mean he doesn't have one.
Okay, well,
You know what?
Not just a boulder.
Oh, okay. Valid.
It's a
but
rock.
Also, But yes, what
What would you like to do?
well,
What'd you
I
say?
mean, yes, I was gonna say it's well, unfortunately, it is best at this point though. We keep ourselves moving and maintain the caution that we have had.
The you can continue to move past the tree, or you can try to hop over across the brook at this point. There's a bit of like a juncture here, a bit of a split. The druid notes to you that we could move forward up past the tree. We're going to hit a point where you need to climb up a bit of a wall. Otherwise, we can cross the brook, and by doing so, kind of circumvent that wall and come around another way.
I mean, I'm good at climbing. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're all pretty good at climbing. That'll be faster, right?
Whatever
Can't say I'm
way is
great at
the
climbing.
easiest.
But you can fly.
Yeah, you can fly. You don't need to.
So,
But
We trust our unwilling ally
but-
to climb with us.
yeah, does the druid have any recommend? Like, I suppose we
are
should just
you
follow
okay
him.
to
If we
climb?
need to take the path to climb, I will do so. I've done it many times before.
Then
Yeah,
let's
he's
go.
used to it.
All right, let's climb.
And our
All right.
path is set.
It takes only a few minutes for you to reach. It's this large, it's like a large hill almost of sorts, but there's a steep cliff side to it. Large rocks protruding from it, covered in moss, vines, plants, various plant life sort of sticking out from it, very old, with like trees that kind of like grow up and over it. The wall itself is a good like 12 to 15 feet tall. The druid looks at the wall and he says, careful with the moss. The rocks could be slippery. You'll want to watch your step. And he begins to climb up himself.
All right.
Who's following?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah?
I'll be
I'm
right
good.
behind him.
Okay.
Can't keep him or can't have him be too far away.
All right. So anyone who is climbing the wall, if you could please make an athletics check for me.
Oh, that's not what I'm good at.
Well, that's what climbing involves, man.
Well, I thought it was like being like dexterous.
I wanted to climb with my investigation check.
Kind of,
I wanted to climb with
what
my
kind of rock-
acrobatics.
What kind of
Is
rock
that,
climbers
is
have
that
you
something
seen that are
can I
good,
climb
like
with
Jack?
investigation?
Whatever.
you do understand the hand strength
14.
you need to do so. That didn't look like the roll
Yeah,
that I
but
wanted to
it's-
see.
Again,
Whatever, I
we're
nailed
dealing
it.
with these are rocks that have like they're
didn't-
covered in moss,
I
and it's
saw
like a
that.
slippery moss.
I saw
Yeah.
that roll
You
from
shush.
Chris. That's not a roll I want to
You
see.
You shush.
Hang on, let me see.
I was gonna
I
say.
also. Hey, that's an
quickly-
interesting roll.
Yeah, to quickly interject before that goes in, I was gonna note as they were climbing, because it will take them longer to climb than it would be for me to float up. I'm going to take the faster look up ahead to make sure there's nothing up at the top that would surprise us.
Go ahead and make a perception for me while I
Okay.
deal with Chris
Yes.
here.
Yeah, just want to interject that before things got like hyper insano.
Yeah, because you rolled a 93, so it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, so for context,
Yeah.
being that the strong, muscular, very athletic man that I am, got a 93 on my athletics check. I'm
Yeah.
that good.
That's what
that
it was.
good.
That's
Oh
what it
yeah,
was.
this is a good one. Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah, well, my total's an
Chris.
8, by the way.
Great. We will get to that. Chris, you begin scaling this rock wall. For you, you're like, this is nothing. I've done, climbing challenges like this many a time. This is cake. It's not going to be a problem. And in your confidence, you're lunging up, climbing, but you don't account for the slipperiness of the moss, which you're not used to. And as you're going to reach for another rock, one of your other hand begins to slip, and you overcorrect to regain your grip and like bring your right arm up, and as you do, you overexert yourself and you hear a pop. And your right arm dislocates from your shoulder while you are on this wall. I'm going to need a dexterity saving throw from you so that you do not fall off the wall entirely.
That's my sword arm. 15 dex save.
Okay. You manage to the feet kick out. You regain your foot, your footing, and hold yourself in place up to the wall. But you can feel very much where your arm has been dislocated from the shoulder. It is not great.
I'll have to wait until I get to the top of the ridge to fix that.
Indeed. Silva, perception of 8. You fly up to the top. There is a flat clearing once you get to the top of the wall there. You see like there's some like smaller trees in the immediate area. And you see that of those trees, because there's like 6 or 7 of them, they're very small. And then once you get over past that brief clearing, it once again turns into more dense forest ahead of you. But there's no sign of any like cultists or beasts or creatures or anything waiting for you up there.
Okay.
All right. I assume everyone else continues to climb up the wall.
You know it.
Oh yeah, I got a 16 by the way on my athletics.
Okay. Yep. So you are able to climb the wall without issue. And after a few minutes of exertion, you are able to make it to the top. All of you get back up to the top of the wall, climb up over, pull yourself up over the edge, so that you are now in this sort of flat clearing. You two can now see that there's like several of these thinner trees kind of peppered about in front of you.
All right, so now I'm at the top, I would like to fix my arm.
All right, we're going to do this is going to be a medicine check for you.
Okie dokie. Let's go. Failure cascade. 17.
Oh,
Okay.
crushed.
Are you setting a sling for yourself, or are you just popping that sucker back in?
Right back in there.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. Just like,
Reminds me of the time I fought a Minotaur in Belarus.
Where the hell's that?
I don't know. Some guy named Belarus.
all right. Chris, you are able to relocate your arm back into place. You do take 2 points of damage. But you do have full usage of your arm available. All right. And as you all continue forward, I need everyone to make another perception check. This time with disadvantage.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, both of mine were
I
19.
haven't
haven't rolled above like 4. I got 10.
For some reason, explicit perception checks are bad right now. It's 10.
I have 9.
Okay, so 10, 10, 9, and set with 19.
Mm-hmm. Both my rolls were 19s.
Sick.
Nice.
Set, you and the druid up near the front. You are walking through, everyone's kind of like maneuvering through these trees. As you're walking through, you catch what almost seems like a glimmer of something poking out from one of the trees. And the druid sees it at the same time as you. You both meet eyes. He swiftly ducks in towards it, pulls it from the tree, what appears to be this sharp triangular piece of metal. Looks at it, looks to you. And as he does, the rest of you, you feel before you see the thinnest possible wire as you pass through it, and the whirring of something flying through the air as Silva, Chris, and Johannes, you are struck with these metallic triangular objects.
Whoa. Does it pierce? Like, is it pierce skin or armor?
Yes. I need the three of you to make Constitution saving throws for me.
Oh dear. Not poisonous.
Man, of course. Why didn't we get... I just got poison. We don't have any poison stuff. I got 9.
I have a 22 on my con save.
9 for me.
18.
All right. So, Silva and Chris, you remove the items from your person quickly. Johannes, you go to pull yours out. As you do, you feel it tear the skin, and immediately a feeling of the energy kind of starting to drain from you a bit.
Oh, not again.
As once again, Johannes, you are under the poisoned condition.
Good thing I forgot to even remove it last time, so...
Traps
also
and
good that we've
deception.
gone out-
They
it's
attack
also
us
good that
from
we've-
below.
It's also good that we've had to go out on this and we haven't had a long rest.
Yeah, we are. I'm looking rough, but
I also
you know
have
what?
no spells, which means I have no lesser restoration for you, buddy.
You know what? I got a. Oh no. I have 1 potion of healing left. I'll be okay.
The druid takes something from their person,
That's funny. Thank you.
almost like a flask, but like very small, circular. Hands it over to you, Johannes. Drink this. Drink it now.
I'll drink it.
All right. You drink it, and you feel the restorative effects of some sort of an elixir begin to kind of seep their way through you, as the poison effect is nullified.
Oh, thanks.
Antidotes are so nice.
that is all I had left. Be careful.
Listen, I'm not
Well,
the
it'll
one
be good if
who
we can
triggered
find a
the
place
trap.
to rest sooner than later.
You are though, Johannes.
Well, that's debatable.
Our
We were
enemies use
all
cowardly tricks.
If we can meet up with the Moon Speakers, we will be able to provide you rest and supplies.
You know how close we are yet?
We should be close. 15 minutes at the most.
Good. Let's keep moving then. And knowing that there are probably more of these traps out, I'm going to be actively keeping an eye out as I'm walking up front with the druid and trying to keep an eye out and alerting the group to if there are any traps ahead.
All right. As you continue to walk, a few minutes pass, going further into the woods, and Set, you at the front, pick up on something, a noise. You think
I'll
you hear
immediately
somebody.
hold my hand up to signal to stop.
The druid stops alongside you, eyes fully focused forward. You hear, it almost sounds like a shout in the distance, but it's very brief. And then some sounds of movement.
Let's move forward, but be cautious. There may be enemies around.
okay.
You continue to move forward slowly. And as you do, the druid, you see his eyes go wide, and he motions for everybody to get down lower to the ground. There are some bushes in front of you, some bramble that you can sort of hide in behind. As he sees something just ahead.
In the bush.
Set you at the front of the group, and Chris as well, to an extent. You'd be able to see that you are coming upon what appears to be a very small clearing. And in the middle of that clearing, what at first, from a distance, may have looked like more trees, it's actually humanoid figures, several of them, gathered around. Most of them are seated, but a few of them are moving around within the perimeter. The druid immediately crouches down, peering through the bushes. I do not know them. They are not part of our sect.
Be good to listen. Man.
So just trying to
Yeah, I'll kind of.
look out.
Good.
And
So we do not want to attack?
Not yet.
Stay
not just yet.
down.
Let's stay quiet and see what they're up to.
I need everybody to make a stealth check for me, please.
I'm good at
I
this.
was saying for somebody to roll a one, and then it's just like it's like
I got a
just like
15.
what?
I got a 29.
17.
Stealth. 16. I can't think of what rhyme or reason I originally had for picking stealth as a trained skill, but it's come out in my favor this time because I rolled a 9. So
I was gonna say I
having
love
a
that
plus
Chris.
7 is pretty helpful.
I love that Chris somehow got a higher stealth score than you on this. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I rolled a
I love how I have
4.
a higher stealth score than I do on my fucking athletics check.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
That's very funny.
that 20 plus 1 really it really carries sometimes. A roll's a roll,
That
baby.
doesn't even matter. That's the high roll. I don't care about that roll.
No, it's the fact that he has disadvantage on the roll and still.
Oh, true. That is true. He got a 16. That's true. There was a 16 then too. Like I said, rolls carry, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got a rolled a
Dice do
4,
be
but
fickle.
still got a 15 on my stealth.
Nice. All right. You all settle in and try to listen, watching as the group. It is this procession of, like I say, there's like 8 or 9 people here in this clearing. The trees towering up overhead, forming almost like a canopy. They are all seated in a circle around what appears to be this like enormous brass, almost like a cauldron of sorts, placed in the middle, from which currently there is a blue and emerald flame that is not very tall. It's not super visible. It's just sort of, instead of casting up into the air, it's sort of rolling over itself, moving about inside of the cauldron, only briefly sort of erupting out from it before sinking back in. A few of the figures whisper to each other excitedly. You hear large footsteps and a panting noise as something humanoid enters from the left and sort of crawls into the camp on all fours. Human-like, but with gray matted fur all over the body. A fanged mouth, drool and spittle dripping from it as it walks. Ears perked back, vicious red eyes, and as it crawls into the group, an assortment of what appear to be rats that are just sort of crawling in and around its torso, drop off of it as if they were insects, as it just sort of absentmindedly crawls into the group.
Oh no, it's a Steven.
Oh no.
It finds a place. It finds a place next to one of the figures, robed, hood over the face obscuring it, and the figure reaches out and gently pets the spine of this wolf-like creature. And as it does, the wolf sort of sets back, baring its fangs, the mouth opening. A rat falls from the mouth into the other hand of the person, and they take it and they feed it into the fire. Good boy. Good boy. Scratches the ears of the wolf. Were you followed? Good boy. Bring them over. From the other side of the clearing, from another bush emerges, struggling, 2 hooded figures, and they carry with them a large burlap sack with something thrashing about inside of it. They drag it along the ground as it moves, and then slam it down at the base of the cauldron. You hear a noise from within, whimpering, muffled. Allow them the heat of the fire for a moment. Yes. Torze, one of the hooded figures, looks to them. That's long enough we've waited. Let us begin. The speaking figure stands. The robes all black, but with green that almost seems to melt and shift along the contils of the fabric. My friends, welcome. We have worked hard for this. It has taken many months, but we have everything we need now to bring forth that which was promised to us so long ago. And this night, those that would oppose us, that have tried to thwart us for as long as they have, are too busy attacking the cities, turning on their own would-be allies. We have been given free reign. Torze. Yes.
How far away are they?
They are literally like
In the clearing, right?
15 feet away from you. They are very close.
As soon as they start speaking, I'm going to gesture to the party and kind of as quietly as possible say, "We need to kill them." And I will, once I say that, I will cast True Strike for the main speaker to get advantage against them.
Okay.
It does not make any visible, there's no visible component to it.
Correct, it's somatic. Yeah, so you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, I gain insight into their defenses and
Get advantage on that first attack roll against the target. Yep.
Yep, and then I'm going to pull my bow out and I'm just going to draw it and look over to the rest of the group, making sure that they're ready.
Yep. And keep in mind that is a concentration spell.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I would also like to do a buff and cast Magic Weapon on my short sword.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, True Strike only lasts for a round, and I only have to keep the concentration until I attack.
Exactly. It's for a round and it's for you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
The figure, the figurehead, addressing the group. I'm led to believe that we have no obstacles in our way. Is there anyone here with a disagreement? And one of the hooded figures speaks up.
I was going to say, as soon as he says, "Is there a disagreement?" I will loose my arrow at him.
Would you like to do so?
I look over to the group, nod at them, and I just...
If anyone objects to this union, speak now.
Kind of object to starting this fight right now.
I mean, this is the opportunity for you to suggest us doing otherwise, but they're clearly about to start some massive shit that we can get the jump on them.
Small group in the woods, and we are cooked, my man. I have 0 spells and 0 blades.
We'll be
I
fine.
have not recovered
It's
from
fine.
fighting the plants.
It's
I'm not counting time right now. If you guys want to, decide for sure what you want to do.
Yeah,
Let me know.
That is the set is giving you guys the opportunity to voice otherwise but this clearly looks like some nasty shit.
I think they're summoning something that we don't want to be summoned, and they definitely seem related to that werewolf thing that we fought back in Western Town. But
Yes,
I
I
also
agree.
remember that
But
werewolf
dying-
thing absolutely destroyed us.
Say, dying will not prevent them. Us dying will not prevent them from completing it either. So,
If we can just interrupt the ritual somehow.
but again,
Well, and
us dying will just mean that they'll just start it afterward.
has the druid made any moves?
I might need you to elaborate on that.
Like I drew my bow. I used True Strike. Have they expressed any
Interest in
like
attacking.
No one
anything-
has made any indication that they have seen you in any way, or that they are being attacked. Like I say, several
talking
of them
about
are
our
still
druid.
like seated.
No, our druid.
Our
Our guy.
druid.
Yes.
His when you draw the bow, his attention will leave the circle, and he is going to look at you.
And I'll make eye contact with him and be like kind of give him the should we do this? Silva, what did he say?
Yeah, he recognizes immediately that, like, okay, he can't understand me. Turns to Silva. Yeah, Silva. I see 13 of them in total. We are outnumbered 2-1. What do we want to do?
I like those odds.
I think we die.
We are outnumbered 2-1. While Druid and Chris here might be, they might have a form of. Actually, no, not even from earlier. So, well, Chris might be okay. The rest of us are. I don't think we as a group collectively prepared for that type of engagement.
You do not wish to fight.
What if it will cost us our lives?
I'll kind of look around. I'll look at Silva and go, right. Spell casting. We need to get to the clan then as quickly as possible and rally them against whatever is going to happen here. This is going to break bad very fast.
I agree. How do we get to the circle?
I'll kind of look to the druid. Is there a way that we can get around them quickly enough to get to your clan? You can just nod or shake your head.
Silva, we can go around. We have to head back a bit, come around. The key thing is coming around far enough that we know that they won't spot us. That could take a little bit more time.
Be tough. Back around.
What do you
If
say?
they were to be distracted,
I can distract them.
I
don't know if it's throwing your life away.
am not throwing my life away. What if they
Let
were
him
to be
cook.
distracted? Would we have to double back more, or would we be able to take a more direct route?
It would be getting around. We would be fucking.
I'm looking like directly at the druid. I can distract them. Can you make sure that they all get to the clan?
He looks at you. I will.
I'll look to the rest. I've got this. Go. Now. And I will kind of move off to the left, away from whatever direction they need to go in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll move off to the other side. And once I see that they're starting to go, I will start enacting my actions.
All right.
Okay.
The druid motions to the rest of you. He kind of cuts back through, moving backwards. Never stands up. Stays crouched. As he kind of motions everyone to sort of slowly begin moving back away from the clearing. He signals an area off to the right. You'll need to weave through several trees so that you can get far enough out. Set.
Yes.
From the clearing, time is resumed. The figurehead asking the group, is there anyone here who disagrees? And one of the figures does respond and says, I do. I've heard word, some sort of large-scale defense possibly being raised. If this ritual fails, we'll be defenseless against them. It will not fail. We've gathered everything we needed. We have followed the books exactly as the scriptures are written. And the moons are on our side. Do not forget that. Another figure from the group. The moons are only on our side because we have made them on our side. We cannot control the fates forever. Brother, we won't need to. We are the claws. We always have been. He will guide us. Just like so. And he takes his hand.
I will stand up and I will loose an arrow at him.
Go ahead and roll for that attack, please.
That is a natural 20.
Oh. All right, we're
Moves on whose side?
You want to roll for damage, my good man?
Yes. So that is 10 damage from the arrow. Another 4 damage for sneak attack. And 3 necrotic damage to an adjacent claw member.
Everyone else, I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
13.
Okay.
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 I got a 9.
Oh
Okay.
no!
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh no, brother.
18.
Oh yeah.
9, 18. Johannes, what'd you get?
13.
13.
Yup.
All right. Do averages real quick. Okay. All right. Set.
Yes.
Arrow fires. The figurehead is reaching in towards the cauldron. And when they do, the arrow sinks in through their hand, penetrating out the other side. There was a gasp from the group around. He brings his hand back up, blood spewing from it, looks at it, looks out into the distance towards your direction. One of the figures sitting at the left side says to the wolf, "Nemo, hunt." And the wolf-like figure immediately turns in that direction and sniffs.
Oh no.
The rest of you are slowly, silently creeping around, coming out and around the right-hand side, beginning to make your way through the trees. You hear the sounds of something happening at the camp.
We turn back.
What if I think we need to hurry.
Let us rush, not friend druid.
The druid continues to take you along. Set.
Yes.
Do you stay in your position?
I have one more thing that I wanted to do.
Okay.
So once I have another opportunity to use an action, I do plan though with after having shot that, continuing along that left side, not staying in the same location.
The wolf gets up from its seated position, and begins to sort of slink away off into the distance. It disappears into the trees. You don't see where it goes. The figurehead looks at the bolt in his hand. No matter. Takes the bolt, snaps it,
Oh.
throws it down, and once again begins reaching the hand into the cauldron as he was before, whispering something under his breath as he does so.
And then as soon as I have the opportunity to do another action, I am going to cast Eldritch Blast at the cauldron.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for the attack on this.
That is a 19.
That will hit. It is a stationary cauldron.
And it is 2 bolts of Eldritch energy that shoot out and collide with the cauldron.
Okay. These bolts race out, striking into the cauldron, immediately sends it up, lifts it up, colliding with the figurehead. He's going to attempt to dodge out of the way. But he's not going to make it on that roll. The cauldron upends and smashes into him, knocking him from his feet.
Ooh.
You see several of the people sitting around immediately get up to their feet. Strips of wood, wands are drawn, blades, as they begin to look around in your general direction, trying to find the source of where that came from.
I got a wand.
One of them calls out, "We are being attacked. This is an ambush."
And I will use both my movement and bonus action to dash and just keep moving now away from the clearing.
Okay. You dash away. The rest of the group, you hear the sound of something surge through the air and collide with metal. It lets out a deafening clang. The sound of something smashing, falling over, and movement off in the distance. You see the eyes of the druid go wide. He motions to everyone. Continue. We have to move.
Sounds of a battle are happening.
We need to hurry. Set won't last long. Go, go, go!
So here's what, for the group, you've got 2 choices here. You can either dash as well to give yourself even more space away from the clearing. But if you do so, you're going to make another stealth check and it's going to be a disadvantage. Otherwise, you can keep moving at the same speed that you are, and it'll be a standard stealth check.
How good's everyone's stealth? Maybe we should just keep going carefully. Or, well, I said my
It isn't.
explode and die.
Way or another, I might just fail it anyways.
That's true.
I say go for speed.
Yeah, let's try to run.
I think at this point,
Yeah.
we're moving away from them, so at least maybe at least now we can make swift.
Okay. So stealth check at disadvantage.
Yep. It'll be a stealth check at disadvantage.
Okay. 20. Dirty 20.
5.
That's probably gonna be the low one. Correct. 9.
Oh, jeez. Scared me.
How we
Okay.
looking?
Well, the rules were great. Well, we are
They
kind of
weren't.
running now, so we're not
Yeah,
necessarily
they weren't.
like
They weren't super great rolls, but you are able to dash off, getting yourselves an extra 60 feet away from the clearing there.
yeah. I mean, there was a bit of a hope that we were just going to be far enough away that maybe they wouldn't, because we were moving away, that it wouldn't be as like, oh my god, they're
Set, you have dashed as well.
Mm-hmm.
You've been able to get some distance away from the clearing, but you currently do not see the rest of the group.
Mhm.
What would you like to do now?
I'm going to be kind of casting it behind me. I am going to utilize minor illusion to have a mimicking one of the cries that the druids made when they were attacking us at the inn. I'm going to mimic that and have it echo out from 30 feet behind me, as though there is a group attacking.
Okay. You cast
God,
that
got everything.
behind you, 30 feet away. You begin to hear the sounds, the calling out, the yells of those druids. In a matter of seconds, something enormous and feral leaps out from behind one of the trees and smashes its way through the space not far behind you. This enormous wolf-like creature. Literally, rats are just like propagating and falling off of it, being flung off into different directions as it slams over into the other side, knocks over one of the smaller nearby trees, and frantically looks around, beady red eyes staring out into the darkness, looking for any sign of you.
And I will use my movement, and then my bonus action will be to hide in the brush.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and roll a stealth.
Yep.
14.
Okay. So the DC on that is 15.
Okay.
You go to hide yourself. Not a sound. You just hidden. For a moment, you hear nothing. You see nothing.
And I will, as I'm hiding, my hand is in my pouch, grasped onto the candle, thumb hovering over the flame.
You sit and wait. And just enough time passes for you to think that the wolf has perhaps ran off another way. When the brush around you erupts into flame. You are surrounded by fire on all sides. As something sets alight all the foliage around you.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
The rest of the group. The druid looks to all of you. This is our chance. We make a clean break now. We can get away.
Well, let's go.
Do we leave?
Yeah.
What do you want for us to do? Off. And take care of himself.
All right. The druid is going to navigate. Thank God. The druid points to a space, a gap between the trees. And you can see, sort of tucked into the thicket of the woods, what appears to almost be like a hollow, something like a cave. He says, "In through there. We'll pass through, and on the other side, we will be safe."
I suppose that's our only option. We would die.
Know where we go.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone who's going, I need one more stealth check from you.
Okay. Pray for me.
Hey.
26.
Okay. Don't know how stealthy I am at the moment. Is this with disadvantage anyway, or what?
This is not. No, this is regular stealth check.
Oh, okay.
6.
6.
I mean,
Oh boy.
mine isn't super amazing either in comparison. It's an 11. Hold a 4.
You all make a break for the hollow. Behind you, off in the distance, you catch as a portion of the forest is suddenly lit aflame. And you hear from out in the distance the howl of something wolf-like. You reach the hollow and are able to quickly dive inside. Set.
Yes.
Fire on all sides. What would you like to do?
Can I see anything past the flames?
Yes. Looking out, you can see that the fire is burning the trees nearby and around you, but past like a 15-foot point, there is safety.
Yeah, I'll have to. I'll rush for that. Still, the entire time, hand on the candle, and just going for it.
All right. You rush through the fire. You take, crazy lucky rolls. You
Cool.
take a single point of fire damage
Nice.
as you deftly cut through the fire, getting out to the other side. There's still no sign of any of the others, but you also don't see the wolf anywhere.
Mhm.
There are trees all around you. It's up to you where you want to go next, what you want to do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep going.
Okay. Are you stealthing or are you just running?
I am trying to be a little more stealthy at this point.
Okay. Then I'm going to need you to make a stealth check.
Okay, 27.
Nice. You make your way seemingly away from the clearing, though you're not 100% sure which direction it is that you're heading now. As you head off further into the woods, keeping your profile low, you hear the howl of the wolf somewhere behind you, but it's quieter as you go. After a while, you've moved far enough away to where you are now seemingly completely alone. You can no longer see the bush that was burning. You see no signs of the cult members or of your own party. It is just you here in the Duskwood.
I will, once I am confident in that, I will actually go up a tree and kind of just post up in the middle upper branches of the tree.
Okay. Make an athletics check for me, please.
21.
Okay. Yeah, so you clamber up one of the trees, finding yourself a nice position up near the top. Kind of looking out through the forest here. You can once again see off in the distance where the fire is slowly burning. Looking around, looking across. Is there anything in particular you're looking for here?
No, I'm just keeping just a watchful eye out. Just keeping an eye out for the wolf and the other cult members, or really anything that could be of danger to me. And I will actually take a potion from my pouch and drink that.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Yes, I'll do that first. That's a 10.
10. Looking out, you do not see signs of any more of the cult members, or the wolf, but you do hear the sounds of what appears to be yelling off in the distance, past where the fire was. You hear the sounds of somebody shouting, getting louder and louder, but it doesn't sound like it's coming near you so much as it's just getting increasingly louder and more frantic in the position that it's at.
And I am rolling that. So I get 12 hit points back.
Okay.
It's a potion of healing greater, which brings me to full HP. But yeah, that's I'm just keeping myself safe, hoping that the rest of my party is able to reach the Druids clan.
Okay. The rest of you are traveling through the hollow. Something like an earthly tunnel, roots protruding in throughout. You slowly crouch and walk your way through. As you're approaching near the other side, you hear very loud overhead, and the druid stops everyone. You hear massive footsteps as something stalks above you. If everyone wants to try to stay quiet, I'll need another stealth check from you.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll do that.
I'm gonna keep them coming.
Yeah. How could this go wrong?
Otherwise, if you want to do anything else,
Might not
Damn
matter.
it, what'd you roll?
That's a 45 in the net one shirt.
Oh, no.
Buddy.
Of all the net ones. The net ones.
you
I got a 4.
your foot catches a root and you slam down into the earth. The footsteps overhead stop. And the druid up ahead of everyone near the exit to the other side almost chuckles to himself a bit. He ducks down, looks at you, Silva. Head straight from here. 400 paces. Ask for Anu. The druid moves to the edge of the hollow, peers out, draws one of his daggers, leaps out of the entrance of the hollow, motions to all of you to move, and then heads off in a direction.
He just heads off in a direction.
Yes. You're all still in the hollow, so you see him exit the hollow, but you're not able to see where he goes to.
Is this druid sacrificing himself for us?
Yes, that is what it appears to be.
We gotta go. By the way, did anything happen to me because of the 45, or is it like we'll find out next time in the future?
It technically happened.
Okay. Okay.
Yay, ominous.
Yeah.
Also, not all crazy.
So, as a group, what do you do? Do you exit the hollow?
But that
I think we should.
forward 400 paces.
You exit the hollow. You see no one around you. The druid is gone. But you also don't hear the footsteps anymore. With no time to spare, you move. Straight forward. I need a new marching order from the three of you.
I'll take point.
I'll bring up the rear.
Moving forward, Johannes, you hear the thumping footsteps again.
Oh boy.
But you also hear the yell of someone. The whooshing sound of something flying through the air. And the sounds of combat.
Oh boy. We
Seth,
gotta go.
Yes.
Gotta go.
you hear northeast of you the sound of rustling of the trees and a man yelling.
I'll kind of try to like look closer, try and focus my vision to see if I'm able to make anything out.
You just make out something crashing through the trees off in the distance. And you see a body lifted up in the air, slammed into the trunk of a tree, flipped around, and as it swings wildly and flails, an enormous clawed arm grabbing it by the leg and ripping it back down into the brush below, where they both disappear.
I am staying up here. And doing all I can to make my presence as zero as possible.
Make another stealth check for me, please.
29.
Your location goes undisturbed. the rest of the group. You continue to move quickly through the forest, as quickly as you can. You only have one direction to follow, and that's forward. Chris, you still have the lantern on you that Set gave you, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have it housed right now, or is it out?
I'm about. I had to put it away while I was climbing.
Okay.
Then my arm broke and I never put it back, so.
All right. You continue to run in darkness. Your other source of light has left you. I need everyone to make another stealth check for me.
12.
Oh my god. 13. I just want to say, I don't know how to see the history, because good lord. 4, 2, 4.
Listen, you got a 26, you know,
Oh wait,
a little
that's
while
really,
ago.
That's really
A little
old.
while.
Why is it-
It's like 20 minutes ago. That's not that long.
I was at the top.
Can't all
of
be
the-
winners.
I was at the
Yeah,
the
can't
top
all
of
be
the thing. Yeah. 11. Yeah. Whatever.
But my roll is a 10, so
Excellent. Okay, noted. Okay. You all continue through the forest, running as far as you can. Set. The minutes drag on. You just sit in the tree, you wait, monitoring, waiting. And then you feel something. It's not magical. It's physical. Like the world is being slowly tilted out from under you. As the tree you are in slowly begins to bend, tilting forward.
I'll kind of like try to get a catch of the base of the tree, like just looking towards the ground.
You hold on to the base of the tree as the tree begins to fall.
Like
Picking up speed.
what is on the ground? Like what is causing it to be knocked over?
You look down towards the base of the tree, and there is no one there, but the roots have been upended, torn up from the ground, and the tree itself is no longer stable. And under its own weight, it is now falling forward towards the ground with you in it.
I will, as it's like going down, kind of position myself on top of it and as soon as it is like near another tree, kind of just transition over to a different tree.
Okay. I want you to make an acrobatics check for me to try to leap over to another tree.
17.
Good. You allow the tree to continue falling over. Position yourself, following the momentum of the tree, giving you momentum as well. You push off, grab for another nearby tree, latch onto the branches, immediately bring yourself in around the neck of the tree, holding yourself in tight. You land. The other tree falls to the forest floor. Position yourself, held on tight, as you hear and you feel a shift in the tree that you're in as something snaps and smashes apart beneath you. And the tree that you are in now begins to tilt and fall.
Cool. About how high up in the tree am I?
You are a good 25, 30 feet off the ground.
Okay. As like once again, as the tree is like coming down, I'm going to try and position myself a little lower on the tree, and instead of getting over to another one, as it approaches the ground, to try and get off, like trying to disrupt some of the momentum towards the ground, but also getting to the ground while trying to minimize any damage that I would take from hitting the ground.
Okay. I'm going to have you perform another acrobatics roll for me to successfully land without injuring yourself, instead of trying to leap to another tree.
Is a 21.
Great. You prepare yourself, and as the tree comes down, you come down with it, but you do so in full control, and you kick yourself out, tuck and roll, hitting the ground, transfer your weight, and as the tree smashes down next to you, branches going flying, you manage to land successfully on your feet.
And I'll pretty much immediately upon hitting the ground start moving away from those trees that were starting to come down.
You turn and take off away from the trees, and you are immediately greeted by 3 robed figures just a few feet ahead of you, crossbows drawn and aimed at you.
Do the robes have the green splash across them?
They do.
And these are the only 3 that I see.
For the moment, all 3 of them aim crossbows directly at you. One of them says, "Up. That's far enough." Hands up.
Kind of show that I'm not holding onto my weapons. Just
Good, good. Let me guess. Just a late night traveler looking to be on your way?
actually, I was out here looking for someone's lost dog. Was just perched up in the tree, trying to get a night's rest. Figured it's safer up there.
A dog, you say? Can you tell me what it looked like?
Sure. I'll like kind of slowly pull out the slip of paper that I had taken from the posting on the bulletin board, and just kind of hold it out to them. I'll like just place it on the ground and kind of back away with my hands up.
One of them closes the fist, and the piece of paper flutters up on the wind towards them, and they catch it. The figure in the middle says, "We know where that dog is."
Oh, really?
Yes. Mios! And you hear a crashing sound as somewhat off in the distance, the wolf-like figure bursts into the view. Crawling up next to, in its mouth, it holds a creature. Would appear to be the remains of a dog.
Uh,
Hmm.
And it spits the remains down at its feet, looking up at you, teeth bared. We needed the dog for business, but we no longer need it. If you'd like it back, you can have it and be on your way.
I mean, I don't need the dog's body. I can just report back that it was dead, mangled by a creature out in the woods. No mention of anything, and I can be on my way. Didn't pay very well, anyways. Just was desperate for the money.
Ain't that always how it works out? They never do pay you enough, these odd jobs.
Just enough to get food and not starve to death.
Make a persuasion check.
I believe.
Man, that was a 4.
Just for the hell of it. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna say, would I get advantage for having the slip of paper?
This
My story's credible.
it's credible.
Well, if you're not taking the dog, and you don't actually need the dog, I suppose you're not really here for the dog after all.
But
how badly do you need the money?
I need to eat. I need to make sure that I can sustain housing. It seemed like the simplest thing where I could spend a couple of days out here and just report back that dog ended up being dead. They said bring it back if you can find it, and I figured the information would be enough for them.
How about this? You didn't see any of us,
Absolutely.
and we never saw you. And when you go back to your little town there with the dog, you tell them that those freak druids hanging out in the woods that have been attacking the city for so long have resorted to murdering the pets of the fine people of the city.
Sure. That sounds great to me. They've been obnoxious as hell anyways, instituting fucking curfews and shit. makes it very, very hard to get some actual jobs done.
Then we're in agreement. Here. Reaches beneath the robes, pulls out a small pouch, shakes it. You can hear the clanging of something metal inside. Tosses it to you. That there's more than that family probably ever would have been able to pay you. Take the money. Go about your way.
Wow. Absolutely. By all means, I will. I'll collect the dog once you've left and be on my way. And hell, I'll even, amp it up, badmouth those, asshole druids all that I can, and I'll leave the entire area with this kind of money.
Sounds good to me. I'm glad that you are reasonable. Sometimes it's hard to find people with common sense out here in these woods.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. One more thing. My friend here thinks he knows you. But obviously, if you're willing to just walk away, he's more than happy to pretend that he doesn't at all.
Oh.
But he did have a question. Somebody, not too long ago, just hurt a good friend of ours. And he thinks... What was it you were saying? The third person on the right. Crossbow still aimed at you. Pulls the hood back. Lion's mane of hair tumbles forward. Piercing eyes. What I was saying to them is that I don't know anybody in all of Corvair that can make a shot like that. Unless they were the person I was looking for. Hey, Seth. How does it already feel like forever when it hasn't even been that long?
Do I recognize them?
You do. I gotta pull up something here. Excuse me. Where'd my thing go? There it is. You recognize the piercing eyes, the dashing smile beneath them. You recognize fully the billowy hair that comes out now. As Trist looks at you with fondness. I told you to leave, and this is where you end up? You had an entire continent to haul off to. Why here of all places?
I just followed the road.
How's this fucker everywhere?
Yeah.
That can be a really dangerous thing to do sometimes.
Clearly.
Yeah. The middle figure speaks to him. So you do know him. I do. Friend of mine. Good friend. Reliable. Dependable. Not supposed to be here, but we make do with the circumstances that were provided.
He didn't say to not come here when he told you to leave earlier. He'd say, just don't go to Undair.
Let's be real here. You told me to leave the city. That's what I did. I have been working on putting distance between myself and that city. It takes funds to travel.
No, I get it. I understand. Like I said, it's just, sometimes fate pulls its strings in certain ways and you somehow manage to end up in the same place again. But like he was saying, I think we can make this work, right?
Sure.
Okay.
I think it's not amenable.
It's exactly what I needed to hear. And he takes the crossbow, puts it point blank at the head of the middle figure and fires. The bolt shoots through his head, clean through to the other side, ricocheting off a tree nearby. The figure on the left turns. His hand is still on the lost dog tag that you gave him. So he isn't fast enough to get the finger to the trigger as Trist throws the crossbow at him, smashes him in the chest, distracts him, runs to the side, grabs the dagger from the figure's waistcoat, and slices their throat. Blood cascading out everywhere. The wolf is still there.
The wolf is among us.
As the bodies of the cult figures, both of them, fall to the ground. You got the wolf, right?
I'll immediately pull up my bow and just launch a shot at it.
The wolf turns. Crossbow bolt, aimed straight for it. Make your attack roll.
21.
21. Catch it at the bottom of the jaw. The bolt holding the jaw in place. The wolf lets out a horrible guttural scream as much as it can. We going or we going?
I'm following you.
Well, where are you going? What's the direction?
I will head
Which way
towards
was
the
town?
I will head towards the northeast where the body came from that I saw getting kind of launched.
Okay. He throwing the hand out, something semi-corporeal summons around the wolf a cube of magic, engulfs it. The wolf, lunging, smashes against the walls of the cube, is unable to escape. The head banging against the sides. And the two of you run off in that direction. The rest of the group. You continue to make your way. Silva. I need you to make a survival check for me. This is to ensure that you're able to effectively keep track of the number of paces you need to go.
Okay. So that is a nat 20, 23 total.
Nice. You're at 318 paces. Continue to keep track as you go. The woods around you continue to get thicker. You're really having to fight now. There's not really much of like a clearing or anything. You're having to really just like dive through the trees and go through underbrush, and you're fighting your way as best as you can straight forward. You see just on the peripherals of your vision that there is movement beginning on either side of you. On one side, it's humanoid. Something moving quickly, dashing through the trees. On the other side, a deer, illuminated in a glow of light. It dances up and down, up into the trees down below, before it disappears as well. And as you all move, suddenly, you are beset upon as several humanoid figures jump down from above, bladed weapons at the ready. You find yourselves immediately surrounded.
What is there? There's
What did he say?
still or?
You hear the druid say, "Who are you?"
I don't speak it.
The eyes they saw.
Fuck. Why are you? Ow, that growl hurt.
Hello?
Hold on.
I'm not a translator.
No, you're good. I'm fumbling. I'm fumbling the bag.
Oh no. So
Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to get through the double checking the name.
oh, okay.
Do you have it in your notes, or do you want to run a history check by me, and we can see if you can recall it?
Yeah, we'll just run that. I don't know how I immediately
I did
lost
not
it,
write it.
but
There's Ulai, I think, or something like that.
yeah, that's kind of what I know, but I don't know that for certain.
I don't know exactly.
I know that's
Yeah.
what's pissing me off about it. And I don't know
Yeah.
how the fuck I already lost it.
It happens.
It's a 14.
You're in a very tense situation.
It's true, it's true. Was it only Silva that heard it?
I repeated it, but
Yeah.
Because I was like, I'll make a history check too if I see if I can remember. But if I didn't hear it, then I could. I didn't know how loudly the druid said it. Druid.
we were all kind of huddling and whispering together. So
Yeah.
Did you say what you got for your check, or did you not roll it yet?
And you. Fuck. That's what it was.
There you go.
That's where the ooh was getting me.
Mhm.
And you.
Was it the NU?
You repeat that, and you, and the druids around you. One of the druids who currently has a blade to Chris's throat relents slightly. And you. They say, come with us. Where is Dalkin?
What did the creature look like again?
The creature?
Yeah, well, like what do you want?
It was a wolf-like. It very much like
I know it was large and it.
very much like the werewolf that you encountered previously.
Right. Yeah, and large enough.
Yeah.
Hopefully he's okay, but he used himself as a distraction. A werewolf. Cultist.
The autorai katofum. Then we shall keep moving. The weapons are lowered, but they are not fully sheathed.
Because I don't understand.
Mhm. The druids beckon you to follow. There are, looks to be 6 of them here, all in various states of dress, almost all of them wielding bladed weapons. They look at you in particular with a bit of a reverence. The question is, do you follow?
Yes. We'll do so.
All right. Set.
Yes.
You and Trist are moving. You cut through the woods. I need you to make me a dex save real quick.
Dexterity save. That is a 27.
27. You see, seconds before you reach it, something on the ground, and you effortlessly leap over. Looking behind you, it is a body. It has been slashed open in several places. An arm is missing, but you recognize the clothing and the leather armor there.
I'll just be like, damn. Guess that means we're heading in the right direction, though. And just keep going.
What is the direction, though? Where are we going exactly?
The Moonseekers?
What do you need the Moonseekers for?
Where we were going originally? We were heading to the Moonseekers to work with them to get them to stop attacking the city and more than likely work on
taking down the cult that's out here.
So you got wrapped up in all this cult shit too? How is this your idea of laying low?
Well, they're not looking for him.
That's a great question.
While we're at it, where's the rest of your band of merry men or whoever it was you were hanging out with?
I was going to
So
say, in your
we're-
defense, it also isn't your fault.
That's
They came
who we're
after
trying
me.
to get together with.
Yeah.
I sent them on ahead.
Did they have like a guide or something?
Yeah, we just passed him back there.
Shit. Okay.
I would imagine that he gave them
fuck.
instructions before he departed.
I hope you have a great imagination then. I don't know if I'm as optimistic. Okay. We can probably find. You're good at tracking, right? Even after all this time.
Yeah, I should be able to pick up on their tracks. We picked up another member of our party who doesn't seem like he's the stealthiest, so I should be able to pick up some tracks from him.
Hey, in his defense, he in fact has been the stealthiest among us in some of these scenarios.
You mean the cleric? I thought he went north a while ago.
No, different person. Met him at the gate as we were leaving the city.
Oh, good. So you're actively adopting people along the way too. That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right. We got no choice then. We're going to have to follow their tracks and we got to move quickly. We have, and he kind of looks at something on his wrist. 40 minutes.
Until what?
Until the atrophy kicks in and I am filled with the compelled urge to murder you.
What?
39 minutes. You ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Explain it on the way if you can, but otherwise,
Exactly.
Just
I told you that I was on a collar and it was only a matter of time before they were going to have me hunt you down, right?
yes.
Order went through. 38 minutes.
Fuck. Okay. Yeah. Keep
right.
moving. I will start looking for.
You're going to make a survival check with advantage. He's going to give you the help action on this.
Okay. Cool. See, survival. Ooh, gross. Okay. Okay. Well, 8.
With advantage,
Yeah.
he gives you. You're kind of looking around. You're trying to find any kind of tracks, anything that you can pick up on. And he gives you this look of like, are you fucking serious right now? You watch as he stops, he bends down and he picks up what appears to be like a literal salt shaker. Wasn't one of your friends a chef?
Yes.
We're at the cut to
Well.
us at the druids. No, my salt.
Where is it? Where is it? Wait, the spice pouch.
I can't make the battery joke if I don't have the assault.
Boo.
Pull from the tower. He takes it and just like chucks it aside. He's like, we're probably on the right track. Okay, shit. Look at the trees. Look at the trees. He's gonna have to make his own roll because yours was so terrible. Okay.
I didn't realize that I literally only have a +1 to my survival
How?
because it's wisdom based.
Every rogue picks one. It's charisma, wisdom, or intelligence.
You get one part of the triangle.
Because
I
the other
chose
one's gotta go
intelligence.
into dex. That's the
Mhm.
number one.
All right. There. See where those branches are broken? About 20 paces ahead of us.
Yeah.
They had to have taken that route.
All right. Well, let's keep a move on then. I'll
Okay.
try and do better.
At least stay close.
Yeah.
And the two of you rush off into the forest. Chris,
Mhm.
you have had an eventful day already. Very eventful day. I feel like I can speak on your behalf and say this is probably not how you expected this day to go. You are surrounded on all sides now by these druids as they lead you through the forest. You feel something. Something calling to you that resonates within, that you're not used to feeling very often. And looking around at these adventurers that you have joined, the coldness that you felt walking through the forest, it's subsiding a little bit. You don't know if that's just the nature of being around so many warm bodies or if it's something else. But you do see something off in the distance. There is, moving between the trees, a falcon. But it is silvery. You wouldn't be foolish to mistake it for an owl at first. But it does appear to be more falcon-like in the beak and the head. And you see it soaring through the trees very low. And as it does, you hear a voice. Where do you expect this path to take you?
To glory.
The truth?
Do you say that aloud?
Yes.
If it's asking me, yeah.
Everyone else, you neither hear nor see this falcon. But you do hear Chris suddenly say aloud to the group, "For glory." They will need more than glory. They will require a shield.
Shield.
And I give them mine.
Again, the rest of the group, you only hear Chris speak. Chris, the falcon flies behind a tree, and when it comes out the other side, it is a heron, flapping enormous wings. It vanishes behind another tree, and it reappears as a Bengal cat, feet pounding on the forest floor as it runs. It changes again, and it is now a deer.
Ah.
Oh no.
The fey creature next to you. Can you be her shield?
I can.
There will not be any glory if the world is turned to a sea of red, as foretold. She is instrumental in stopping this, as are they. There is no greater glory for you to seek than to keep them safe.
And safe they shall be. This group is under my protection.
The druids immediately stop and all turn. Some of them draw their blades. Silva, you hear them. What is it? What is he yelling about?
I don't know. What are you yelling about? Chris.
You are under my protection now.
Okay, dude, can you do it quietly?
I'll keep you safe.
Let's cut to them and Sylvan. He seems to be having some type of mental epiphany. He's fine.
Some sort of episode.
If it is of any concern, he is swearing allegiance to protect everyone here. So it seems to be good.
And great news for you. I'm staying with you now.
Good.
Also, the one we left behind, assuming he's not dead.
Oh, he's fine. He can take care of himself.
Chris,
Yes.
the deer is now gone. You look around for a moment, not sure where it's gone off to. And then you see, floating around your head, what appears to be like a monarch butterfly. But again, coated in this silvery glow. And you hear one more voice. If you keep my daughter safe,
Oh.
you will be rewarded. But you must be careful. And remember, we are of the flowers that produce the nectar that feeds the entire world. But there are only so many flowers left.
I will shield these flowers from harm.
Thank you. And the butterfly flies away. And the next time we meet, these two groups will hopefully reconvene. It's impossible for us to know for certain. What we do know is that as they move deeper and deeper into the Duskwood towards this uncertainty, their involvement in these grander plans seems to be far from over. So, we shall learn more next time. Until then, thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. Welcome, Jade, back into the fold.
Yay.
And we will see you all next